Live from Pawtucket, it's a mad show. Welcome to the program, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Stephen Buckner, joined tonight by my lovely co-host, PJ Pat Tierney. And we're here, to, as we always are, to talk about movies. So we're going to talk about movies, maybe TV if we want time. You flashed the Vulcan salute. Yesterday was actually First Contact Day, where the Vulcans made their first contact with Earth.
Current events were poetic after the news story that came out a month or so ago with that interview with former President Obama. They should have used.
Oh, where he said that he said they're aliens. Yeah.
But maybe Disclosure Day will be the day Disclosure Day comes out.
That movie Disclosure Day. I mean, it's a little early to be talking about summer movies, but that Spielberg movie, the commercials for that. If I didn't know it was a Spielberg movie, I don't think it would interest me enough to go see. Like, I do see a lot of like sci-fi movies and stuff like that. But I don't know, something about the movie, I'm watching the commercials, it's like,
I know it's coming out, but the commercials haven't stuck with me yet.
Yeah, because that's it. It just seems like another generic sci-fi movie. Nothing really sticks out, sort of stands out about it. And it's like, if you didn't know Spielberg was involved, I don't think it would get a big audience. Like, I haven't seen anything in any of the trailers that made me go, wow, I got to see that, Like, he did make some clunkers for a while there. He got into like a sci-fi, Groove. Thank you. I was trying to find, that's not exactly the word I was looking for, but that works. Where, he made Minority Report, which was really good. He made War of the Worlds, which was, okay. And then he made a couple, like that one about the AI kid, that was horrible. The one that was based on Kubrick's unfinished movie.
To be Harry Potter.
What's that?
He wanted Haley Joel Osment to be Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah, that was, well, he maybe could, but he was probably too old at that point to be Harry Potter, right?
He also wanted to combine books 1 through 4 into one movie.
Yeah, that wouldn't have worked at all. Hey, that was a weird tangent to start the show. And don't look behind the curtain. No, she doesn't have you on camera. But anyway, the movie we are going to talk about is... we haven't seen Super Mario Brothers, which was the #1 movie this weekend. It's actually Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah.
Is the new one. Not because I'm not interested in seeing it. I probably will see it before our next show, but it's like, I don't know. I just didn't have time. It didn't enthuse me enough to go out and see it opening weekend. So I will eventually see it. But I did go see Project Hail Mary, which I was looking forward to seeing. If you haven't seen it, it stars Ryan Gosling as a reluctant astronaut who's on a mission to save Earth and ends up teaming up with an alien that he meets along the way who's sort of on the same mission as he is. That kind of sums up the whole movie. I don't know, have you read the book that it's based on?
I have not. I had been looking at maybe reading The Martian sometime soon.
Yeah, it's based on a novel by Andy Weir, who also wrote The Martian, and The Martian was a really good movie. And this has some of the same, I think, creative team working on this, aside from being based on a book by Andy Weir. I think the screenwriter of this is the same screenwriter who wrote The Martian. So it had a good pedigree, and of course Ryan Gosling usually makes pretty good movies. So...
and of course, like Andy Weir, got in trouble
recently for bashing the new Star Trek shows. Yeah.
Well, not for that. He went on. You watch on YouTube. Have you ever seen Critical Drinker?
No.
He's a YouTuber who talks about movies, and he's very conservative. And he went on to Critical Drinker's show, giving him platform, and also not quite disagreeing, not actually agreeing with Critical Drinker, but not quite disagreeing with him as to why, The Martian and Project Hail Mary, are successful when they're so different from the typical Hollywood slop that they put out over and over again. And Critical Drinker blames it all on wokeness, and he's like, well, it's not woke, but it's also not woke. Like, it's just that's not an issue.
Yeah, it's not something that the movie is concerned with.
Yeah. So he both sides just attacking him for like not being, on
going
whatever
one way or
side.
the other. It's like one of those no-win situations.
Yeah, like you don't go on Critical Drinker show and give him a platform. You just don't.
Yeah, I've never even heard of the person. So, but the movie was pretty good. It kind of unfolds with flashbacks. So when the movie starts, Ryan Gosling's character is already on the spaceship, and he kind of wakes up from an induced coma and finds that the rest of the crew is dead, and he's the only one left on the mission. But he's got like no memory of why he's there, or even really who he is at first. And he slowly starts remembering stuff. So there's a lot of flashbacks. But one thing I did find critical is that, and I'm sure the book spells it out more than the movie does, but it's like I was never completely sure whether or not the flashbacks that we see are him having those memories or just the movie showing us those flashbacks of what happened to lead us to that point. Because, like, if he's having those flashbacks, then he's remembering those things. So I wasn't completely sure at any point in the movie how much he remembers of what we're seeing in the flashback, because it's obvious as the movie goes along that he remembers who he is and stuff. But then it gets to a certain point where there's sort of a major reveal, which I won't tell you because you haven't seen the movie. But it's unclear to me because after you see that flashback with that big reveal, there's no sort of reaction by the present day Ryan Gosling character to what we just learned. Mm. So you don't know, is he aware of that? Has he known that all along? Or did he just remember, or does he still not remember? It's like I was a little unclear on some of that. So some of it is murky. And as far as why the crew is dead, I don't think that was ever even kind of explained. Maybe there was some sort of throwaway line or something that I missed. I found early on in the movie, a lot of the sound was just bad. I couldn't understand what everyone was saying. You know how when you watch a lot of Christopher Nolan movies?
Yes.
The dialogue is he treats the dialogue as the least important part of his movies.
And some of his movies are so hard to understand what is being said.
And he's doing that on purpose. It's not that it's a bad mix. Well, it is a bad mix, but it's not like you're in the theater and they've got the mix wrong or something. He's making his movies like that on purpose. And I felt like I was watching a Christopher Nolan movie for part of this because I was having a hard time. And not that there was a lot of dialogue at first, because it was just Tim. But when it goes to the flashbacks and he's interacting with people, then you're like, wait a minute. And it didn't help that one of the characters had a German accent. So you've got the German accent on top of the sort of muffled dialogue. And it's I'm not entirely sure what's happening here. So I did enjoy it, but it could have been presented a little more clearly in some regards as far as sound and story presentation.
Yeah.
But it was pretty good. The main premise of it is that there's this thing that's attacking our star, or sun, and it's attacking just about every star that they can see in the galaxy except for one. So they're sending him there to find out what's happening.
What's different about that?
About that star, so that they can save our sun and save our planet. And while he gets there, he on his way there, after he's woken up, he encounters an alien spaceship where he encounters an alien who is also the only one left on his ship. and he's being sent to the same star for the same reason, and they sort of team up to work together. And so a lot of it is him, working out a relationship. It's kind of like a buddy movie. Yeah. It's about the friendship between the two of them and them working together to solve the issue. So it's pretty good. I enjoy it. You end up feeling for both him and for the alien, who's just, they call him Rocky. He just looks like a little, he's done with a puppet, but he looks like a little, he kind of reminded me of like a toy that you would have seen like in the 80s after Transformers were popular. They were trying to make Transformers out of everything, and you'd see like little rocks that would become robots. That's what it reminded me of. But I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was as good as The Martian. Like, I thought it would be, not that The Martian was a comedy, but I remember them like putting it in the comedy category when it was nominated for a Golden Globe. And it's like, well, the movie was funny. It had some jokes, but it wasn't a comedy. It was a drama.
Comedy, yeah.
Yeah. But I think
a dramedy at best.
Yeah, exactly. And I think my memory of that being shoved in the comedy category, I think for some reason I was going into this expecting it to be comedic, especially since it was directed by Lord and Miller, who did the Lego movie.
Yeah.
And they did the Into the Spider-Verse movies. They've done a lot of comedic things. Not that the Spider-Verse movies
and
were comedies.
And if they're considering a movie like this, like that to be a comedy, of course that's why there are no Adam Sandler, Jim Carrey comedies anymore. Because this is what comedy as a definition has evolved, and now it's, comedy doesn't mean comedy, it means dramedy.
Yeah. So this, I kind of expected it to be a little more comedic. There are some, lines that he has that are, minorly funny, but it's not really a comedy yet. So if you're expecting that, you're going to be disappointed. But overall, it's pretty good. I could probably see this being something that's going to be nominated for something next year, at least for technical awards. So it's pretty good, and I can see myself watching it again. I probably won't go to the theater to watch it again, but it's something that when it shows up on cable or streaming or whatever, I'll probably would rewatch it and enjoy it, and maybe I'll pick up on the things that I missed the first time. So the other movie I saw while we're talking about comedy is kind of a dark comedy. It's kind of a mix of genres because it's a gangster movie, but it's more of a gangster movie in line with like John Wick. So it's got a little bit of that John Wick action to it, but at the same time it leans more heavily into the comedy. I wouldn't call the John Wick's movies comedies by a long shot. But this is a kind of a mix of gangster action and comedy, but a dark kind of comedy, not a broad comedy. The movie, I can't even say the name of the movie. It's Mike and Nick and Alice, which is an unwieldy title.
Yeah,
but
I don't even remember seeing a trailer for that one.
I had seen a trailer a while ago and thought it seemed like it had an intriguing premise, so I made a mental note to see it. And then I realized that it wasn't coming out on in theaters. It was one of those direct-to-streaming movies. And I happened to be looking for something else to watch on streaming when I saw that was available on streaming. I was like, oh, I thought this was going to be coming out in theaters. It's already streaming. As I go, next time I'm looking for something, I'm going to watch this. So I think it just came out recently, like within the last couple weeks. But it stars Vince Vaughn, James Marsden, Keith David, some other people that you'd be familiar with. But the basic premise of it is, and it's also kind of a sci-fi thing when I'm talking about the different genres that it's blending together. There's definitely a major sci-fi twist to it. So the premise of it is that James Marsden's character, Mike, is a hitman for this criminal organization. And he's having an affair with the wife of Vince Vaughn's character, Nick. So they're at this party, and you can see Vince Vaughn's character from across the room. You can tell he's like, hates Mike, the character of Mike. He's just like staring daggers at him. So anyway, that character, the character of Mike, he leaves the party, goes to a hotel where he's going to be meeting up with Nick's wife. And there's a knock on the door. He opens the door, and it's Nick. And he says, come for a ride with me. I need your help with something. So he's thinking, okay, he knows, because the way he was staring at me at the party, he's going to kill me. But what ends up happening is he tells him he needs help with a job, and he says, you know what, I'm thinking of getting out of this line of business and going straight. I don't really. He says, do this one last job for me, and then you can get out. So he says, okay, I'm not going to kill anyone though. You don't have to kill anyone. You just gotta. And he gives him like chloroform and says, just soak this rag in the chloroform, go to the front door of this house, and you're going to see something weird. I just want you to be prepared for something weird. But just the person that answers the door, put the rag over his face until he passes out. So he says, oh, okay. So he goes, he gets out of Vince Vaughn's car, goes up to the door, rings the doorbell. He's got the rag ready. The door opens, and it's Vince Vaughn. And he's just, he reacts because it's weird. But then he does the thing and tries to knock him out, and it doesn't work. And he gets into like a John Wick-style fist fight with him. And eventually what he finds out is that the one that in the car that was setting him up to do this is the same character from the future. And he has come back in time to stop something that he caused happening. And in order to do that, he needed to subdue the present version of himself. So it becomes this sort of comedy of errors thing where he has enlisted both Mike, the present version of himself, and his wife to help him stop what he did wrong on that day in his past, which is their future. And they're trying to do it, and things just keep going wrong. They get screwed up, or people are like backstabbing each other. And at the same time, this is all happening. This is concurrent with the events of the crime boss that they all work for. His son has just gotten out of prison, and he's throwing him a huge party to celebrate him getting out of prison. But at the same time, he knows that someone within the organization is the one that ratted out his son and got him thrown in prison in the first place. And he vows to kill whoever it is that ratted out his son. So I'm getting way into the details of this, and it's sounding convoluted. It's not that convoluted, but Vince Vaughn in the original timeline used the fact that the crime boss looking for a scapegoat to blame for his son going to prison uses that to get revenge on Mike, who's having an affair with his wife. So he sets up Mike to be the guy who ratted out the son, even though he's not, gets him killed, and then, finds out things afterwards that, made him regret it. And so he's trying to stop that from it. And it's a weird movie, but it's funny. It's got some pretty decent action scenes. It's not a great movie, but it's worth watching if you're just looking for something to entertain yourself for a while or pass the time or whatever. And it's just got some odd choices. I was telling you earlier that the opening scene of the movie, for some reason, has a character singing along to a song from a 1980s Disney movie that was written and sung by Billy Joel. It's like, it was such an odd choice that's how they started off this movie about crime lords, with a character singing along to a cartoon song.
Well, I mean, the Oliver's gang, the Dodgers gang, is like one of the first, crime lord gangs.
That's true. And the character that sings it actually has a Disney connection. He's I'm trying to remember his name. I think it's Ben Schwartz. He's a comedic actor. He's in a lot of things, but he's not super famous. The most famous thing he's done is he's the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog in the Sonic movies. Mm-hmm. But he was also the voice of Dewey in the reboot of DuckTales. So he's got that Disney connection. But he's the inventor who invents the time machine. And the movie starts with him, working on building the time machine. And the character who plays the son of the gangster that got sent to prison and got out, he's played by the same actor that was in the prologue of the most recent Scream movie. He was the first victim.
Okay.
And he's a familiar face. I don't know his name.
Yeah.
But he's in a lot of things.
And in that scene, he didn't have a lot of comedic moments, but I could read from his performance that he probably has good comedic timing.
He does have good comedic timing, and he does in this movie. There's all these little sort of comedic touches. Even though it's a gangster movie, there's these little comedic touches to the performances. He's got a lot of them. And he's got these interactions with this other character who also has a comedy background. And I can't remember his name either, but I've seen him in other things too. And just their little conversations have repercussions in later scenes where he's like, oh, that son of a bitch. It has a lot of funny moments. And the movie does end up setting up, they could do a sequel if they wanted to. I won't spoil how it ends, but I imagine if it does well for Hulu, they'll probably make a sequel. Because, how well does it have to do on streaming,
And this one was a Hulu original?
Yeah, it is. Like I said, I thought it was going to be out in theaters because, Vince Vaughn, he's not a huge star anymore, but he's still a movie star.
Yeah.
And James Marsden, Sonic, he's in those Sonic movies too.
Yeah.
So, and the character that plays Alice, Nick's wife, who's having the affair with Mike, I'm trying to remember the actress's name. I think it's Elza Gonzalez. Okay. She's not a big name, but she's been in a lot of things. I think she was in Baby Driver, and she was in a movie I saw last year that had Henry Cavill, and it had a weird name, but it was like a World War II movie from Guy Ritchie, and now Guy Ritchie has another movie that I think she's also in, and Henry Cavill is also in. So she's like a familiar face. It's like I said, the movie's filled with people that you're going to recognize from other things. You just don't know their names. They're not household names anymore. So that's worth checking out. That's pretty much all I saw. I didn't see the Super Mario Brothers movie.
I heard that it wasn't very good.
The first one was good, but it wasn't great.
The first one was good, but the first one also has a context of especially if you're watching a video game movies, the range of video game movies, most of them are in the really bad to bad range, the majority of them. And when the Super Mario Brothers movie came out, it was such a contrast to Super Mario Brothers the movie. Monkey! Dennis Hoskins' monkey line. And, Bruno playing Luigi.
I think a lot of what I liked about the first movie was seeing the nods to the original game. They've got the pole with the flag. Oh, he's doing the thing on the street, which is like him playing the game. All these little nods about how they brought the game to life, which I thought were cool. But it's now that that's done in the first movie, it's you're not going to really have that for the second movie unless they're referencing stuff from other games. And quite honestly, I haven't played a lot of the more recent games.
One of the characters I saw in the trailer is the frog bad guy from Mario Brothers 2.
See, I can't even remember. I'm sure I played Mario Brothers 2, but that was for the Super NES.
No, that was for NES.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, came out in '88.
Okay. What am I thinking of? I know I mostly played the original Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario Brothers 3 because that was the one with the raccoon tail. That I remember playing a lot. And then I maybe played the Mario 64.
A little bit, yeah.
I played a little bit. I didn't have that system, but I hung out with someone and played it a lot on their system. And of course, Mario Kart. I played the original Mario Kart. I played a lot of. So, but that was sort of where I ended my playing of Mario games. But they've had like so many since then, and I'm just not familiar with.
Yeah,
like Super Mario Galaxy. I think the title comes from a game.
Super Mario Galaxy comes from the Wii game, the game that came out when the Wii was.
Yeah, see, I never even played that.
Because Mario 64, the Mario Sunshine, and then
did it
Mario
come with
Galaxy.
the Wii? Because I thought the Wii came with Wii Sports.
The
It
Wii
was like
came
the
with Wii
first-
Sports. You had to pay for Mario Galaxy separate.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, because I think it was like a big deal when the Wii came out that it was the first Nintendo system to not come out with a
Not
Mario
be packaged
game.
with the Mario game.
Yeah.
They did it like they did with Game Boy, where they were going to package Game Boy with Mario Land, but then they decided to package Game Boy with Tetris, and get it in the hand of millions of people, non-gamers. They used the same strategy with the Wii, because Wii Sports became like bought by every nursing home in the country, and every 80 to 90-year-old was playing Wii bowling every week.
Yeah. The Wii was like very popular.
And then the Wii U was terrible, and now the Switch was good, but the Switch is 9 years old.
They have like the Switch 2.
The Switch 2 just came out this year. Yeah, $700, please.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I've got the little retro NES.
I have the SNES.
Yeah. Oh, do you? And I'm not even. I have a little tabletop Miss Pac-Man. It's got Miss Pac-Man and Galaga on it, and I play that. I like the retro games.
That's what I'm into as well.
So, as far as what's coming out in the next 2 weeks, I'm not really sure what the new big release is for this coming week or the week after. But I know later this month there's a movie I'm looking forward to that stars Samara Weaving from Ready or Not 2, which we talked about on our last show. It's her and, my mind just blanked on the name of the actor. The actor that's on Shrinking, that used to be on Freaks and Geeks and How I Met Your Mother. Jason Segel.
Okay.
It's the two of them playing a married couple that are trying to kill each other. And it looks really fun. Another black comedy. But it's from the guys that did all the Lonely Island guys that used to do the things on Saturday Night Live. Mm-hmm. And they've done a few movies together. Well, this is those guys making this movie. So I think that'll be pretty good. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. See you next time. Tonight is...